Welcome to a new series called Brown Sugar Cinema, where I will review films directed by Black women. It's been a series on this channel, but we recently renamed it to Brown Sugar Cinema. So let's see what culture says about womanhood in the film Albany Road, directed by Christine Swanson.
Let me tell you about this girl, maybe I should. I met her in Philly, and her name was Brown Sugar. See, we've been making love constantly. That's why
So, conversations that women avoid. It's sometimes money, anxiety, and depression, our mental health in general. And I have a movie review. Well, it's not a movie review, but it's a performance review of SNL with Meg Thee Stallion. It analyzes her song Anxiety. So you should go check that out if you haven't seen it on this channel. But, we avoid conversations like anxiety, depression, family expectations, relationships, fertility, body image, aging, values, and past traumas. So we're going to get into this film. It opens up a winter day in New York City, and our character, Celeste, is wearing this satin button-down top. And it immediately lets us know that she is an ambitious woman and she's ready to close a deal at her advertising firm. Let's take a look at our log line or synopsis of the story. A New York executive is forced to share a rental car with her ex-fiance's mother, only to discover that the mother is hiding a major secret. So this review have spoiler alerts? A little bit, but I'm more talking about the vibe and the feeling and the emotions that Christine Swanson was thinking of when she created this film. She was the writer and director as well, and her husband produced it. So let's get into the characters. Our first character we have is Celeste. And she, the actor that plays this character is Renee Elise Goldsberry. And we see her as ambitious. She's an advertising firm exec. She's independent. And she has pressure to prove herself professionally. We see at the very beginning, that's the first struggle of this film. We have womanhood, and her womanhood is defined by her career. The next character we have is Paula. Now, Paula, her womanhood is defined by being a mother. She's a protective mother. She has her only child, her son. She's strong-willed. She's hiding secrets. She's mature, and she's very persistent. Then we have her son, Kyle Henderson. He's played by, and I forgot, Paula Henderson is played by the one and only Lynn Whitfield. So her son, we have Kyle Henderson. He's played by J. Alphonse Nicholson. And that's her son and romantic partner of Celeste. At least we get flashbacks of this romance, this true love between the two of them. And he is the emotional catalyst that connects the two women. So let's get to the struggle of this film. So when watching, like I said, it opens up New York City, stormy. At first it's raining. And then as we move along in the story, it begins to flurry when she's at the airport because she has to get to DC from New York because she has to close this deal with the advertising. She works at an advertising firm and she has to close the deal with a client. So her partner that she's seeing for 6 months now, his name is Phil. And he's into her, but she uncovers photos from her and Kyle that is on her laptop when she's preparing for the brief for the ad agency, and she goes down memory lane. And it's not only does she go down memory lane, but she will later go down a road with a woman that she despises to unlock her purpose and fulfillment in the journey that she will embark on to get to what she wants professionally, but we'll see that she might just choose empathy. So the struggle is that she's choosing career over true love. And how do we know? So how do we know what is real love? Mary J. Blige has a song about real love. How do we really know what is real love and what is not? Like Phil, she has Phil. Phil, they've been dating for 6 months, and how do we know? She still has feelings for Kyle. Celeste is with someone new, but is not Kyle. So the unexpected moment or the conflict. So we have the storm that causes Celeste and Paula to be on a road trip. So they're on this road trip. They're in New York City. We don't know why Paula's in New York City. We know that Celeste lives in New York City and she has a presentation in DC. And Paula is from DC and she's going back to her house. She wants to go back to Albany Road, 8710 Albany Road. And Paula wants to get home. So we have two women with nowhere to go. So they get a rental car because the airlines have shut down. They're stuck with each other in this car. They can't run from themselves and they can't run from each other. That is the tension and the conflict of this story. And we later find out that Paula is the mother of Kyle. It's so funny. Lynn Whitfield does an amazing job of demonstrating comedy in her willingness to low-key manipulate people to get what she wants at the airport. And so she ends up being the one to rent the car because Celeste, her driver's license is expired. So Paula is the one that ends up having the car in her name. So the real shift happens when we see they're on the road trip. They have an accident with a deer, and there's a whole metaphor there with the deer. And the metaphor, I believe, is a mom being hit by a car. The mom was hit by a car, and the mom died, or the what do you call it? The deer, the mother deer. Anyway, the mother deer dies because Celeste loses her mind and starts flooring it on the road in a snowstorm because she's determined to get to this meeting, and we begin to discover she's not gonna make it. And so she loses her mind, floors the gas, and runs into this deer. And it's a symbolism that the deer was just trying to protect her doe. Is that what they call a baby deer? Bambi, basically. Bambi's over there. His mom has passed away. And Lynn Whitfield's character, Paula, just looks at the deer and it's like, that's me. I mean, that's my baby. That's my son. And Renee's character, Celeste, reminds her, or not reminds her, but says, they've got to make it. He's got to make it on his own. And I'm curious if Celeste has lost both of her parents. That's kind of what I'm getting, and that's why she's so ambitious and like on her grind, because she doesn't have the support system that she wished she had. And let's take a moment to look at what the meaning of home is. I remember the song from The Wiz, Home, and it's like Dorothy has gone on this journey and she is missing her home. Like she thought that her home was bleak. I'm thinking of The Wiz, not The Wizard of Oz, the one with Diana Ross and the one that was on Broadway. But she was a school teacher and she thought her life wasn't going anywhere. But she then longed to go home when she was in Oz. And that's what this reminds me of. They have no shelter in the car. So home is a place of shelter, safety, and comfort. In this film, these women are missing that safety because they are in a car, especially in the storm. And then we see that the deer is hit. Celeste is trying to speed away from home, and Paula wants to speed to get to hers. So, Albany Road is just that metaphor for the journey. So, Celeste is speeding away from home, and Paula is speeding or wants to at least get there safely. So, Celeste and Kyle definitely represent something familiar, and that longing of home is demonstrated there. So let's get into the road. The road, the journey. It's a beautiful choice to name the street Road. A journey of self discovery and expectations of the world, and the strong imagery of literally sitting beside each other. So I thought that was very prominent that both Paula and Celeste are literally sitting beside each other. They can't get away from each other, and they're faced to slow down. And a lot of the topics on this channel is about slowing down and knowing what we should be doing on this journey, or having some idea. We all don't know. We have an idea of womanhood and all of that, but it's nothing that a book can teach you. You just kind of have to go through life and learn those things. And so Carol's house, which is a cousin of theirs, becomes a warm bridge between the past and the present, with a pending ending of the future. So let's get into colors. So if I were to give this film a color, it would be the color rosewood. The color I choose to describe the film will be rosewood because it has red tones that blends with browns and purples. And for Paula, it represents a mother's love. It's rooted like wood. It's enduring, it's firm, it's resilient, even resistant. The color itself is sophisticated, warm, and earthy. And for Celeste, like we see at the very beginning of the film, I'm glad they chose those deep colors. And you notice her lips at the very beginning are red, her nails are red. And so we see with the satin shirt that, if I was to describe the rosewood color for Celeste, it would be polished wood, showing the purple undertones for an enterprising woman. So at the very beginning of the film, Celeste says, "What I do is all I have. I can't lose." So that's that dominant color that she's portraying, not only portraying, but embodying in the film. So that goes to, I just quoted that quote, but I'm going to quote another quote. The best line that I like in the film is from Paula, Lynn Whitfield. Her acting is phenomenal. And she says, "You are afraid you're not worthy of the kind of love." Okay, so sorry, I'm not an actor. I'm not an actress, but we're going to try this again. Okay, I'm going to read the line. It says, "You're afraid you're not worthy of that kind of love, and you are. Even without this big career or the children, you are enough." So that's what Paula says when they're in the car together, and she's trying to get Paula back to Albany Road. And so we see time and time again, about 3 times in this film, the Serenity Prayer. And I just want to read it to you. The Serenity Prayer says, "God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference." And I have a feeling that on Paula's journey, we later discover that she has breast cancer. She was in remission, and the cancer has come back. And that is a conversation that I'm sure as a woman you want to avoid. So she's dealing with body image issues, and she looks in the mirror and she says, "Girl, you look good," or something to that effect. "We look good." And she's, takes off her wig, and she's bald, and we see her scars. And so that has to really go into your body image, and she's aging. So that really goes into am I a woman anymore? You know, I'm sure she's had that question of, am I a woman? My breasts are gone. Even Lynn Whitfield embodying that character with no makeup. I saw the director say that, you know, they did the film, they did the scene, no makeup, and Lynn Whitfield was apprehensive, but she did a beautiful, amazing job. And it seems like throughout the thread of this whole film, Celeste is led by fear. Fear is one of the themes that is a, a recurring theme in this film is fear. So I like to take a moment. Let's take a moment to describe a moment of self-care. So a lot of you guys, you voted and you say you want to see more self-care that has to do with nature-inspired self-care. And you also want more journaling and reflection. And so I'm going to wrap that up in this movie. And so Celeste takes a bath off camera. We don't see it in the film, but they speak about it. And she comes out, her hair is put up in a little poof bun, and the bath has diluted her red, metaphorically speaking. At the beginning, we see her in red, and that she has been wearing at the beginning of the film, and in a light powder pink, she comes out with a two-piece set on, this athleisure set that is like a powder pink. And so she has diluted that ambitious, driven woman and has taken a bath. You know, it's something so beautiful about taking a bath, just to rejuvenate and to wash away the dirt and the sin and I had to take a beat there to wash away all the evil wickedness and just everything that wash away the day. And so not only are you washing away the dirt, but you're getting rid of the negative thoughts and negative ideas that have clouded your decision making and your identity. So key takeaways: slow down. Slow down. And they had no other choice but to slow down in the car. And the other is to release control. So Celeste, she had to say at least 3 times in the film, I got it, you got it, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got you, I got us. But she didn't, because the storm was bigger than her own strength. And that reminds me of, you know, some scriptures that, you know, we can't rely on our own strength. Sometimes we have to call on God, and we have to call on something that's bigger than us. And so the first thing I would suggest for you to do is to slow down and to release control. First step, notice you need the control first. What outcome am I clinging to? Like, what am I holding on to so tightly? And for Celeste, it was for this meeting so that she could become partner of this advertising firm. Step number two, name your fear. So is it failure? Is it judgment? Is it disappointment? For her, I think it was failure. She was afraid to fail. She didn't want to fail in love, and she didn't want to fail in her career. Step number 3, surrender the small things first. So don't check your email right away, or let someone plan the dinner for you instead of you having to make reservations and you making the plans, or you planning the trip. Let other people in your life that you care for do those things for you. Step number 4, shift your focus to what you can influence. So she can't change Paula. She can't change the storm. So what Celeste did is chose empathy. Step number 5, practice acceptance. So Kyle has this thing where he says he's choosing the path of least resistance. And sometimes that is okay. But Paula is saying, no, Kyle, I didn't raise you that way. You fight for what you want and you stand up to fear. Don't let fear win. And I love the scripture that I believe is in 2 Timothy 1:7. And it's God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and a sound mind. And that's the reason why I chose the color rosewood, because it's a demonstration of love, and God is love. And even in Genesis 1, verses 1, chapter 1, verses 26 and 27, it says that we were created in his image. And so if this God of the whole universe that created this storm that they were in, if he loves you and he created you in love, if God is love, then you have nothing to worry about. So practice acceptance. And number 6, reflect on the outcome. And so I would like to give this film, or we're going to come back for a journal prompt. I'm going to give you a journal prompt at the end, but I would like to give this film something new. Pun on my first review, something new. Love that movie. But something new is called the sweetness rating. And so it could be either, what I rate this film, it could be pure brown sugar, it could be sweet enough, or it could be no sugar added. And this film is coming in at pure brown sugar. So pure brown sugar means it's a classic must watch again. If it was sweet enough, that means it's enjoyable. And if it's no sugar added, it lacks story and character. But this film did everything. The team, the actors, from the writer and director and the actors and the producer, they all did a beautiful job of creating this independent film. So your journal prompt: what is one thing I'm trying to control that I need to let go of to feel lighter? And I'll go with mine that I'm going to work on. It says, I really want to let go of the desire to be thinner. There you go, body image. I will feel mentally lighter when I focus on my health. So focusing on movement, focusing on the things I can control. So eating healthier, moving my body, and not just focus on the outcome of what the scale says. So I hope this was very entertaining. I got my cards here, my show cards, my show notes, and this was really fun to review this film. Let me know in the comments what you are trying to control and what you're letting go of to feel lighter. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you would give this sweetness. Would you give it a pure brown sugar? Would you give it sweet enough? Or would you give it no sugar added? So 2 things. Feel free to do the journal prompt on your own and let me know the sweetness rating. Remember, take time to smell the flowers. I'll see you in the next one, guys, and have a great day.
I want some in your brown sugar.